Hello, everybody. This is random as fuck. I just thought for a change, I'd do this. It's the first time I've ever done like a stream on my own. It's Saturday night and I'm not actually doing anything, which is a bit weird considering it's like Christmas. But I just thought I'd do a bit of a random stream. So let's see if anybody joins. Hello. Hi guys. Yeah, hello Amanda and Neon. Good to see you. Yeah, just a bit of a random. Hello, Janko. How's it going? Yeah, I just thought I'd do a bit of a. Hi, sir. Bit of a random stream, to be honest. It's a bit. Kind of. Well, I was just going to reminisce a little bit about. Hi, Max. About my trip, really, and sort of seeing Lorne and all that kind of stuff. It's not so. Hi, Watson. It's not so often I do. Well, I've never done anything like this. I've never done a. An impromptu stream before. Could you just let me know in the chat, guys? Is he's playing the Grinch. Hey Meb, how's it going, pal? Is guys, just in case you don't know, Meb in the chat here came with us to the courthouse to watch Lorne get sent down. It was kind of a remarkable experience, really, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit. Just about how sort of how weird it was, how much of a strange situation, as Meb will say in the chat. It was kind of like very surreal, as you can imagine. I remember walking into we were kind of a bit late. I know we've been into this before, but we were kind of a little bit late getting to the court. And Meb, who's in the chat, hey Terry, how's it going? Thank you very much. Yes, apologies guys for seeing my ugly mug. I don't know why I decided to do that. I just thought something a bit different, I suppose. Yeah, so we were late getting into the courthouse, and Meb was already in there. Latoya, is that how I pronounce your name? Bailey, Latoya Bailey, beautiful name. We were late getting in, right? So Meb was already sat down, and we were a bit concerned we were going to miss the opening part of the case of the court hearing because we didn't want to miss anything. And some of us were a little bit hungover, so it was a little bit of a rush to get there, and it was kind of for all the time that we actually had. It was so fucking stupid that we were like late. Do you know what I mean? You know when you think you've got all the time in the world, but yet you end up being late. It was such a weird situation. And then it was about a 40-minute drive from. In fact, Meb in the chat, how long was the drive from the Canaan Motel to the courthouse? It was at least 45 minutes, wasn't it? And one of the guys who was with us, who wasn't in the same car as me, was really fucking pissed that night. Paul really got drunk. He was the worst out of all of us, and the car kept stopping. He kept having to be sick, and I was like, oh, I felt so sorry for him. And the thing is, I had a drink that night. I don't really drink much anymore. So I kind of like, I was feeling rough, but I kind of stopped myself. I think I don't think I went too far, getting too drunk. But I really felt for Paul when the car kept stopping. You know, there's like nothing worse in the world, is there, than you know what I mean, than being sick. You know, like when you're sick, right? and you're really hungover, and you're being sick, but there's nothing to. Can you remember how that feels when you're being sick and there's nothing there that's like coming up, and all that's happening is you just you're getting gross now. All that's happening is you just vomiting stomach acid. It's like, oh god. Oh, never dance with the devil in pale moonlight. Well, I think I've violated that. Yeah. So anyway, we got there. I've never thrown up. What? Dry heaving is the dry heaving. I like that. I like that. Amanda, you've never thrown up from being hungover. What the how? Does that mean you've never been hungover? Because that seems to be. I've never thrown up from a hangover. So have you ever been hungover then? Is the question. Because I'm finding that like, are you just a sensible drinker? Because I've got like 20 years of quite severe alcoholism behind me. You must get a bad headache then. Yeah, come on, Amanda. We want to know more. Yes, but just like a headache. Bokash. Sorry, I can't. Forgive me. Yeah. It's just a random stream, so nothing amazing planned or anything. At the minute, we're talking about hangovers, which, to be honest, is kind of related to Lorne because that motherfucker's going to be hungover virtually every day, apart from when he's in prison. Meb, as you can imagine, I mean, you drove a long way, but it was definitely one of the most surreal moments of my life. It really was. But yeah, on the hangover front, what was the man? Yeah, just a bit like a headache and shitty feeling. Do you know what? Brendan's never thrown up. What the fuck is going on? Am I just like, maybe it's the stuff I'm drinking. I think of Lorne every time I drink. Well, you know, it's funny. I'm really going through this kind of like, one of the reasons I'm doing this at the minute is because I'm kind of an outcast at the minute. It's weird because I'm not drinking. Like, there's plenty of places I could go tonight. I've got like, you know, I was offered to go. Well, I kind of messaged someone and then they messaged me back and she's like, "Oh, me and Sir in the city. Why don't you come up?" And I'm like, "Can't be fucking arsed." Because it's like everybody will be pissed and I'll be sober and there's no way I'm wasting all tomorrow hungover. I think it's maybe just getting old, I suppose. It's just getting older, innit? Because like, but saying that, some people just carry on drinking all their lives, and it's just, I've got to that point now. Me and my mates, right, we went to this casino about 18 months ago, this casino in a town called Bolton in the north of England, and me and a couple of mates, we'd not been out in a while. Oh, there's Paul. We were just talking. We were just talking about your ridiculous hangover when we were driving to the court. About how the car kept having to stop and you was like being sick. And then you to be fair, you recovered pretty quickly because you drove me back to Boston, didn't you? So yeah, we were just talking about like hangovers. Anyway, me and my mates went to this casino, and I was like getting ready. It was like 18 months ago, and I was getting ready for like this big night out. I was like, yeah, we'll do this, and we went out at 7:30 in the evening, and we were planning it all night. And he allocated myself $100 to waste on the slot machines. Yeah, and I got absolutely plastered, and I mean, I spent a shitload, and I woke up the day after on the Sunday, and I've never felt as bad in my life, and I think that was the turning point. At that point, I thought, you know what, I've done it now. This is the end for my endeavours. I'm fucking changing. Yeah, we don't have many casinos. Hey, Chris, how's it going? We don't have many casinos in England, but we do have them. It's a strange thing, you know, I've never really sat down and thought about it. With regard to the licensing, Chris is in the entertainment industry in a kind of way. He might be able to answer this, but we do obviously have casinos, but they're just not on the same scale as they are in the US. Like, I went to the casino, which Paul got me in at a really decent price. The casino in Boston, the Encore, which was just a magnificent um, place. But we don't have anything like that in England. We have like really small casinos dotted around. 24-hour casinos. Yeah, well, they're all 24 hours, aren't they? But yeah, they're not really. It was nice to experience that one in Boston because it's something that the structure and the way it's run and the people in there and how beautiful it looks. But I just didn't get anything from it at all. I'm like, you know what? I'd sooner go for a walk in the park. I know it sounds a bit weird, but it doesn't. It just doesn't do it for me anymore. It's all like money and status. I suppose you can have a bit of fun with it, but there's always a tendency for it to go too far. Did you see this supposed stepbrother of Lorne's? His name is Kevin, and he posted videos of Lorne recently. Apparently, he's defending Lorne. Yeah, someone left a comment in the video, one of my videos, Marks. I don't know whether anybody's seen this. I don't know if that's real or not. I read the comment and I was going to reply and said, someone, I don't know whether you know, someone put a comment in one of my videos and said they'd seen Lorne's stepbrother post a video and this guy was defending Lorne, and this person this person was defending Lorne. It's very strange. I don't really know much about it. I'll have to check it out myself. I don't know what videos he's uploaded, but why would you, if you were Lorne's stepbrother, why would you go online and try and defend him and post videos? I think it's fucking bullshit, I think it's somebody with fuck all better, dude. Andrew, at your last stream, you all really skipped over how funny the Winnie arc of the calls was. Well, I've not really listened to any of the Winnie stuff, so I can't really comment. The only stuff I've listened to is the stuff involving Tiffany. So that's why, because it was like I wanted to talk about. It wasn't about anything else. A lot of the catfishing stuff. I know a lot of people enjoy it, but some of it I don't enjoy. Just being honest. I call bullshit. What does that mean? Fake news. Yeah. Bullshit. Fuck me. How stupid am I? I'm fully aware of it. Yes, I agree. I think it's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense, does it? I mean, it's for people like me to be making videos alone, it's highly questionable. But for his stepbrother to come on. But anyway, it's funny. I wonder if Lorne told Tiffany to call Dan and he'd mute himself. She had phone sex with Dan for 7 minutes. I'm not sure I've heard that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm wondering if kind of my lack of drinking has got something to do with Lorne, because you kind of... The alcohol thing is a massive part of like his downfall, isn't it? It was the one thing at court that got remarked upon the most. It really it's his whole reason for kind of... Oh shit, can you raise your mic a bit? Right, hang on a minute, let me try and... Hang on. I'm not going to be doing this for long, guys. I want to go on my game soon and then do a bit of reading before bed. That sounds so fucking... I never thought I'd hear myself fucking say those words. Jesus Christ, man. What's come of me? I've got Google Chrome now. I've got my PC sorted, you see. Right, hang on. I know that you can see the mic on the screen now. Hang on. Right, is that better, guys? Could you let me know? Hang on. That's better, isn't it? Oh, no, that's fucking stupid. Well, it doesn't matter if you can see the fucking mic, does it? Who gives a shit? It's like I'm for a minute there, I thought it was some kind of like professional operation. Metal Gear Peter. Yeah, yeah, you've got a point there. Oh. Whoa, sorry about that. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna have to quit out of Skype. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, sounds the same, but I can hear you okay. You shouldn't have been able to see that. That was a bit weird. What can you see on your screen now? Never mind. Anyway, where were we? So, I just wanted to talk about when we went into the courtroom, right? And I will not see the new Star Wars. Fool me once and all that. Well, do you know what? Right, let me just. Brendan, I will be going to see the Star Wars. I'm selling my soul to the devil yet again. Me and my friends have like for all of the Star Wars movies, apart from Solo, we all do like a midnight premiere thing in Manchester. So we're all doing it on Wednesday. I'm not looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fucking shite, but I'm doing it. And I'm not dressing up like Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, it's bollocks. It's just, you know what? It's genuinely injured me. What's happened with the Star Wars stuff? It really has. Well, yeah, maybe I might want to start drinking again. But I know I thought about that, John. You know what I was gonna do? I was gonna pay for a ticket for another movie and then sneak into the Star Wars one, and that way, I wouldn't have to give any money to Disney. But my mate, he kind of guilt tripped me into it. Like, he messaged me, he said, right, when are you buying tickets? I said, I'm not fucking going, mate. Have you seen what Disney have been calling the fans? And he said, I don't give a shit what they've been calling the fans. You've got to come with your mates. And I was like, no, I can't do it. And then about an hour later, I kind of like had to think about it. And I thought, I could be denying myself. It's feasibly possible that JJ has actually made a good movie. And actually healed it. So I can't deny myself that potential. But the thing is, if it's shit, they won't get any more money from me because I won't go watching it again. I won't buy the Blu-ray like I've done with the other ones anyway, that's enough about Star Wars. People don't want to tune in to listen to me babbling about that. Anyway, so with regard to, let me just shut the curtain. Some fucker across there can see into my fucking. I'm about the same. My family's going to see it, and I've seen it, everyone, but I don't care where they take it. I know it's such a, I can't tell you how much this has like injured me. It's like a breakup. It's like a bereavement. I can still enjoy the old movies, but what they've done to it, it's kind of like finding out the girl that you first fell in love with was a bloke. So, how do you fucking turn off Skype? Oh, God. Yeah, anyway. What am I doing here now? Right, just bear with me a minute, guys. Just bear with me. Oh, there it is. Do you know what? They don't make it easy on these computers. They really fucking don't. You know, you've got Skype running in the background, but it won't let you close it. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about was because I'm getting sidetracked now. When I walked into the courtroom, he had his back to me, right, and I walked in there, and he's he turned round like that and looked at me for about 3 seconds, and then he turned back round, and it didn't really occur to me at the time, but obviously, if you think about it, he's gonna want to know who's in there, innit? He's gonna want to know who's in. It's his court. It's his play, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's everybody's there for him. Because part of me was thinking, what the fuck are you looking at? Do you know what I mean? But of course, like, it'd be like, who's this guy? Can you imagine if he? Can you imagine if he like knew it was me? That guy would be making loads of videos about him. Because he would think of me as like the new Nathaniel, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? Someone who's just not got anything better to do. He'd be like, who the fuck is this asshole? But yeah, it was really strange. And then all of a sudden, everybody else came in and he looped round to see who they were. The most surreal bit for me was when he looked at me at the end as we kind of like as we were leaving, and he was shackled, and he looked at me, and there was suffering there. You could feel that he felt pretty bad, but it was I didn't want to look at him. I felt uncomfortable. I wanted to look away, but I didn't want to like cower to him. I didn't want to submit to him, so I kind of kept eye contact with him. And then he just walked on. But I suppose the most profound bit was the laughing. It was, oh my god, it took me completely off guard. I can't. My memory's awful, right? I haven't got clear recollection, but all I remember is him snivelling and going, "Arr!" And then he just said, I want to do my cooking show. And then I just immediately lost it. It just like, I was like this. Literally, it must have been for 15 minutes. I cannot tell you how much I laughed. I've never laughed as much in my entire life than what I did then. Yeah, well, Paul in the chat, he was there. I had to nearly remove myself. I was like, it was such a bizarre situation because I said to Meb, who was with us, I said, you know what, this is the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. Because if you think about it, right, we've been, with all the Tiffany calls and everything else that was going on and the documents that were being released, we've had a front row seat of Lorne's life for the last few years, right? So it's kind of like seeing the filming of a Star Wars movie. So you're following the Star Wars saga, and then one of the director invites you to the set to watch it being filmed, and you're like that, and it was amazing, and like I was just glued. Everything that he was coming out with. If it was any other case, you wouldn't be bothered. But him talking about like his alcoholism, and you know, hearing the things about the community and that he got all these kind of like followers, you know, to see his mum get up there, it was like a play. It was just such a surreal, and in the courtroom was a magnificent arena. Like in England, it's pretty poxy little rooms, but in you know, in your end in the States, the magnificent. This, you know, this federal court building, it was just beautiful. You had, you know, massive pictures up there of artwork, and it was just beautifully laid out, and it was really like sparse as well, because you had a huge room, but yet all you've really got on the benches to the left of us was Mother Gwen, and then you've got me and Paul and Meb and Shin and Miss Watson, and that's it. And then a few court personnel dotted around. So there's probably overall there was probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 10, 12 people in the room. So you had, like, if it was crowded, it would have took something away from it. But because it was emptier, it gives you more time to think and soak up the surroundings. Like, if there was all sorts going on, your mind would be all over the place. You'd be like, going, who's that, who's that, who's that? What's going on here? What's going on there? Oh, that mystery guy as well. Who the fuck was that? That was weird. There was like some guy at the back of us, right? And he was already in there. He was sat right in the corner on our side. And he kind of like he just kind of didn't do anything, did he, Paul? He was just kind of sat there in the corner. Yeah, and he didn't like acknowledge it. He didn't say anything. He just kind of like, and then when it ended, he just shot out straight away. But then he was in the lift with us, wasn't he? Because we kind of like potted around a bit for whatever reason. He ended up being in the lift with us as we was going back down to the ground floor. And he didn't even look at us in the eyes. It's like he couldn't wait to get away. It was just a strange situation. But I'm surprised nobody else was in there. But like, I'm just glad that, you know, I'm just glad. Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's right. We did, didn't we? We stopped talking, and then it was kind of like, yeah, it was a very, very unusual situation. It was kind of like you couldn't have written it any better than that as well, because like to have what happened, for it to just go as what, it couldn't have gone any better. It couldn't have been. Everything that I wanted to see happened. I wanted to see Lorne cry. It's not that I wanted to see it. I didn't want to see him. I didn't wish any pain upon him. As bizarre as that sounds, but I wanted it to be entertaining. I wanted to see the full show, if you understand what I mean. So we had Mother Gwen saying a speech, which was like, I have a son. My Lorne wouldn't hurt a fly. He's a good man. It's like you had all that going on. And then Lorne gave his rambling speech. The judge called him a predator and said you were not the victim of your own crime, which was like a really good, thing to come out with. You had all the sort of legal ramifications. Lorne's defence didn't make any sense. So we had that. Then we had his hilarious comment about the cooking show. Then we saw him get shackled. It couldn't have gone any better. And just to add that little bit of mystery, just to sort of put the icing on the cake, you've got this mystery guy in the court. It's like, he might as well have just fucking worn like, put a mask on it. Might as well have had your mask on, Paul. Oh, hang on, what's this? Oh, that's brilliant. The Grinch. Meb's just sent me. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know what to do. The great story, you just don't know what genre. It is a fantastic story, and it's like it was at the end of the Lorne saga from a personal perspective. Obviously, I'm still making the odd video. I really enjoyed the stream that we did with Shin and Tiffany on last Sunday, I think it was. Feedback's been brilliant. It was pretty intense because of what Tiffany said about her family. I really am interested in the rights and wrongs of it. I know it's got me into like a bit of trouble. Well, not trouble, but there's been some disagreements, shall we say. But I think it's really important that we examine the treatment that he gets from us, and does he deserve it? Is a separate question. Should we be doing it? What's the right attitude towards him? Does he deserve eternal damnation? Does he deserve any kind of help? He's already had help. He's dismissed it. He doesn't want to get better. he kind of wants to get better, but at the same time he doesn't. It's on a different level. He wants to get better in the sense that he doesn't want to suffer anymore. He doesn't want to feel bad. He doesn't want to feel pain. He doesn't want to be in prison. But he's not willing to do the hard work to get better. In order for him to get better, he's got to suffer more. And voluntarily suffering, well, I won't call it voluntary suffering. Suffering ceases to be suffering when there's total acceptance. If you totally accept your pain, it's just pain. Suffering is a refusal to accept the inevitable pain that comes with life. He won't voluntarily put himself in positions. He's always searching for the easy way out. I was going to make a video about what happened in his childhood, specific incident that I really think's had a massive, profound impact on him. And you know, there's a few comments of people disagreeing with me in the last stream, and I get it. And I know Amanda James, who's in the chat, you know, she doesn't necessarily agree with everything that I say, and it's fine. We all have our own perspectives. And it's, you know, it's fine. You disagree with me. It's great, you know. But I really, truly believe that we have to examine why we feel a certain way about him, and you know, what does he do? What's the right thing for us to do as people? What do we? It's really important that we examine the decisions we make, how we treat not just our friends and family, but how we treat people that we think are bad. You know, it's like how you know, perfect example. The judge, this guy, put murderers away. This guy's seen it all, and he genuinely wanted Lorne to get better. And you've got to understand. And even Tiffany said that you know, a healed Lorne is a safe Lorne, so the world's a better place. So you know, to sort of trying to fuck him over entirely may not be the best course of action. One of the true teachings of spirituality and the Bible, I don't want to go too far, I know it's not for everybody, is pray for your enemies. It doesn't mean that you accept what people do to you. It doesn't mean that you can't stand up for yourself. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you don't identify malevolence and combat it. But what it does mean is that you pray that that person will see the light. You pray that they will see the errors of the way. Lorne never has, and that's why we still talk about him, because his refusal to see himself in any other light other than being a victim is really what makes him interesting, because the lawsuit highlighted it perfectly. I think it was the first thing that we got after the chat log, and you read the chat log and you're like, wow, this is amazing. And then you read them lawsuits and you're like, he's not wrote. No, what? Female powers, unintentional travel, you know, manipulated. It's just baffling. Absolutely. I mean, it just, even now, I'll never fully grasp that one. But it's all part of the tale, isn't it? It's what makes it so interesting. It's not just like he's refused to kind of like, I shouldn't have to go to jail because people have done worse things. He's blatantly like, he created a complete false narrative that he was there to protect this girl. And he wrote it in his lawsuit. And what's interesting is, did he think that these people were going to hand him $80 million without reading the chat log? Did they think they were just going to take his word for it? Do you know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. I mean, and then you read the chat log, it's quite obvious he wasn't there to befriend and protect her. Any moron can see that. But yet he wanted you to believe that, so he had to have believed it himself. It's crazy. It really is. Yeah, I'm doing a live stream on my own, Johnny. It's coming to an end soon as well. It was just a random. I miss you too, mate, but I'm not gone anywhere. You said something about when Lorne had that Predo smile, I assume you mean pedo, when he was going to feast on Case. You said he was in pain or something. I disagree with that. Yeah, no, I didn't mean it. You see, it can be taken out of context, I don't mean that. You see, this is the way I look at things, right? When someone acts in a evil manner, which Lorne certainly was when he was sat there, he was going to abuse a child. You look at Casey, and you wouldn't necessarily see. You don't see it. As far as he's concerned, she looks very young, and in his head, she's a child. And he's not had that moment of realisation. He was going to do something he knew was wrong, and that if you think that evil exists, then, which I don't in any kind of tangible way, that would be an evil act. What I mean is that in order for somebody to do something like that, there's pain and there's fear behind it. Nobody acts in that way out of joy. And this is going to sound corny, but bear with me. Nobody has joy and love in the heart, right? There's only really two things that guide us, right? Fear and love. And the absence of love is fear. It's written. This is all perspective, by the way. It really depends on which way you look at it. So you've got to allow people their own perspective. But one of the books I read, I can't remember which one it was, said that your unconsciousness is determined by your degree of separation from God, or being conscious, or whatever you want to call it. So how detached you are away from your true self determines just how evil you can be. So you're just lost. The best way of looking at it is lost. So you're seeing somebody who does all these terrible things. It doesn't happen a lot, but you do see people, you see parents who have had their child murdered, and forgive me for being so crude, but you see parents and you hear report and you see interviews where they forgive the murderer because they know that this person is a ill person, the suffering behind the evil. It's true. It really is true, and that's what I'm trying. That's my perspective, right? Evil doesn't have any tangible reality to it. It's very controversial what I'm saying. That love does. Love is a real thing. It's in our hearts. Evil is just basically when love isn't there anymore, and you get lost. It started, and that's what the Bible said when it was talking about Adam and Eve. They ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So that's when the mind started to make judgments, and the mind said, this is good, that's bad, you are bad, it's the start of the loss of paradise. Animals don't have that ability to differentiate and think. And Shakespeare said, nothing is bad, but nothing is inherently bad, but thinking makes it so. We're getting really this is where I disagree. It's not just love or fear. That's a bit too reductionist. I'm not sure I know what reductionist means. We call them predators for a reason. Instinct is part of it. Of course it is. Instinct, it's the survival instinct. Lorne is a predator because he can't get someone his own age, and he has this attraction to children. So what is the easiest thing for him to do? To pick out the young. That's what the lions do. They initially target the calves of the wildebeest because they're the younger and they can't fight back. That's what Lorne does, and that's what predators do, and that's why they're called predators, because they act like the lion does. Is the lion evil for picking out the calf of a wildebeest? It's surviving. In Lorne's world, he's surviving. He has a choice to do better, but he won't. It's a very that's you reduce it too much. I don't agree. True understanding dispels all evil. If you truly it doesn't mean that you're justifying or enabling. It just means that you understand it. If you just see someone as evil, That's karma continued. Where does it end? So what do? Do you carry on? Do you carry on forever? Right, that guy's evil, I'm going to kill him. So where does it end? Luke threw down his lightsaber. That's all I've got to say. Anyway, I know I didn't expect it to go down that way, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people won't agree with that. But you know, that's the way I look at it. You know, and please, but there's certain things I can't say, right? But please believe me, I'm not just someone who sits in a bedroom with fuck all better to do. I've done a bit in the world. Believe me, I'm not trying to like say that from an egotistical point of view. I'm saying that if you knew the sort of professional things that I've been involved in, and it would. I'm just trying to say that me opinion, I would suggest is worth a little bit because it's very easy for people to sit back and judge and say this and that and the other if all they've ever done is sit and watch Netflix and, you know, work in McDonald's. No disrespect to people who work in McDonald's, but you know, I would suggest that maybe you're living a little bit of a sheltered life. But I love this kind of conversation, me. I'd be quite happy to get on with you one time, Brendan, and we can have a conversation about it. I've got nothing to you know, to hide or anything like that at all. I love this stuff, me. You know, that's what I like about the Lorne saga. There's so much encompassing it. There's so much contained within the saga, within his character, within the story, within, you know, from start to finish, from NBC, from his childhood, right to where he is now. It is worthy. I know we keep saying it, and I do repeat myself often, it's worthy of a Netflix drama, it's worthy of a movie, it's worthy of a documentary series. There's so much that's involved in it, and it inspires so much interesting conversations from so many different angles, and that's what I love most about it. And we've got the humour as well, which is never gonna, I mean, it's, yeah, and yeah, Paul, you know, Paul agrees. I'm sure everybody here does. People that don't agree with me, I'm pretty sure that you can. I'm pretty sure that you can agree that it's a very it's a fascinating topic. It's not just that we're here because we've got fuck all better to do. It's a fascinating topic. It's a fascinating story. Even what Tiffany said when she had so many calls with him, he's a fascinating guy for the wrong reasons. Do you know what I think could make a good Lorne? Him out of the Bourne, is it Brad? Him out of the Bourne Identity, what's his name? Somebody in the chat before I go. I can't believe I can't think. It was in that. Nah, Bruce Willis. Nah. Matt Damon. Yes, of course. Do you not reckon? What do you reckon? If he shaved his hair, he'd make a good Lorne, I reckon. But we could be here all day thinking it. Well, maybe we could do that on another video. Anyway, guys, I'm going to bid you good day. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Just a random kind of, like I said, just a random thing. Nothing too major. And if you've enjoyed this, maybe I can do more of them. Because while everybody else is getting drunk and it's Christmas time and all that, and I'm sat in doing fuck all. But I have got an holiday in Thailand to look forward to in 4 weeks. So I'm kind of like saving up my money and getting into shape. Oh, I'll tell you what. I was like, exercise I've done lately is just unbelievable. So I'm kind of like really trying to get in shape. And I've got this 7-minute abs workout, which is a fucking killer, man. Shin sent me the video. Fucking hell. You do it and you feel like you've been shot. So I've really been working hard. Just trying to, because you know, you got a beach holiday coming up. You want to look good, don't you? And I'm going to be drinking every night on me holiday. And me and my mates have rented these 2 mega apartments out as well. Can't fucking wait. Anyway, so guys, thank you so much. It's been really good. I've really enjoyed this actually. But it's about an hour until my bedtime, and I've got to get up early for my early morning run. Do you know what I love to do? He is a specimen. You're right. He's a fucking great guy as well. Yeah, I like going for a run really early in the morning when there's nobody else around. Stick Joe Rogan on and go for a run. So relaxing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And I hope you all have a good evening, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.